What is up, guys? The LA Gamer here, and today I am bringing you guys episode 5 of my MLB 17 The Show fantasy draft franchise. Now in today's episode, I want to show you guys a part of the simulation and how this trade came up on my screen while I was simming. The Texas Ranger, or not the Texas Rangers, the Minnesota Twins were trying to send me Rugned Oder for, what is his name, Phil Sermano, or some random players, right? Now, as you guys will soon see, this prompted me to check what I could possibly trade these prospects for. I figured that they're going to give me an 87 overall second baseman for two prospects that don't make any impact on my team. I might as well try to trade some prospects and make it an even better team than we already have. And that is how this trade occurred. You see, we have Joey Gallo and Alex Hansen appears, who is an A potential second baseman. We have both these guys lined up here. And Kris Bryant is on the opposite end of this trade. And what team is he's on the Tampa Bay Rays, and they appear to be interested in this trade. So we are going to send that trade through, and Kris Bryant is now going to be a part of our organization. In this episode, it'll be Michael Fulmer versus Yu Darvish. So in the very first game of Kris Bryant's career, he'll be going up against Yu Darvish. So that'll be kind of an interesting little situation. We'll see however that goes. So here's a quick little look at the Kansas City Royals lineup. Not a whole lot of talent. They got Gary Sanchez, Will Myers, Alemdis Diaz. They got a few good guys, but for the most part, not a super talented lineup. You see right here, there's a quick little look at our record. I believe it said we were like 23 and 28 or whatever. But either way, we're still trying to make a playoff push. That was kind of the idea behind trading for Kris Bryant. I figure I need to make my roster a little bit better because I don't exactly know why we're not a playoff team already, or why we're not even in a position to make playoffs. But I figured if I make a few trades, it might bolster the opportunity a little bit for us to be a playoff team. So right there, we're going to start the game off flying out to right field. Now you see D. Gordon is up to bat. He's going to hit this one right over the second baseman's head. That's going to fall into shallow right field. And that'll be the first hit of the game here on the top of the first inning. Now we have Kris Bryant up to bat in his first at-bat. As a Toronto Blue Jay, you see we'll start out with D. Gordon getting picked off here at second base. I don't know what exactly happened or if he got a bad jump or what, but D. Gordon got thrown out by a mile. And now with Kris Bryant, with nobody on base, with 2 outs in his first at-bat, he's going to be striking out here on this high fastball. So maybe not the best debut hit as a Blue Jay or on our team, but I'll be able to live with that. It's not a big deal to me. One at-bat doesn't really dictate everything, and trust me, Kris Bryant will come back later in this game and have quite a performance for himself. So you see right here, on the defensive end of things, we're going to get the first batter to fly out, we're going to get the second batter to strike out, and now with the third batter coming up to bat, they actually start to pose a little bit of a threat. You see right there with a 1-2 count. Although we could have probably thrown a pretty good strikeout pitch, we're not going to be able to do so. We even tried throwing him out at first base, but not quite enough arm strength from a right fielder to be able to do that one. Then right here, the second batter of the inning, he's going to drill this one off the left field wall. You see they're rounding third. He's going home. And this throw obviously could have avoided a couple of runs from scoring this inning. But an awful throw from our shortstop, Trey Turner, is going to result in not only that run scoring, but this run as well. And that's kind of depressing. If Trey Turner just made a better throw right there, we'd still be tied 0-0. But that's where fielding makes a big difference. You know, you never know when you're going to be in a situation where you need fielding. But sometimes it can save you quite a few runs. But we're coming back here, down 2-0. But we're still going to make a push here to try to score a few runs. We're going to start off this inning right here by flying out to right field. And then on this at-bat right here, they're going to throw one down the middle. And we're going to absolutely crank this ball to left center field. You see this ball is going to drop right in between the left fielder and center fielder. Good enough to fall, and we are going to get an easy stand-up double on that pitch right there. So now with the next batter coming up to bat, I believe this is Ben Revere. He's going to knock one pretty hard to first base. Now, if you know one thing about Ben Revere, it's that he is a very fast player, and he's going to run out that infield hit. Ben Revere also has a very, very good day today. So now with Trey Turner up to bat, trying to make up for his pretty bad throw earlier. He's going to do more or less that exactly what we need him to do by flying out to right field just deep enough to score the runner from third. It ends up being a fairly close play at the plate. But regardless of any of that, we're still able to score on that play right there. So now with 2 outs in the inning, we're going to hit it right here straight to the second baseman with D. Gordon. Not good enough to knock any runs home. So we're going to have to walk out of that inning with just 1 run, but still a 2-1 game right now. And now with Kris Bryant coming up to bat, his second at-bat as a Blue Jay, he's going to play it against the switch, drill it down the first base line, and get an easy double right there. One weird thing about this game is the Blue Jays ran a switch on almost every single opportunity they could. It was kind of odd. But right here, I tried to cheese the computer by running back and forth with Kris Bryant. But it obviously didn't end up working out for me as they end up finally throwing it to second. Kris Bryant actually gets thrown out. I was hoping that I could like cheese the system enough that both runners would be safe. But regardless of that, it doesn't matter if we have a runner on first or a runner on second, because Jock Peterson will come up to bat here, and that's a no doubt home run to right field. So regardless of if Kris Bryant was on base or Giancarlo Stanton, still 2 runs off of that swing right there. And it will now be a 3-2 game, and we will have the lead as you see Jock Peterson rounding the bases. So now, moving on into the next at-bat, you see we have Chris Carter up to bat. Chris Carter, obviously, like I said, has been a pretty great player for me. Not on this swing right here, though, as he's going to fly out right over the third baseman's head. That's a pretty simple play for a third baseman to make. He's obviously going to be able to do that. And now, with this batter up to bat, we are going to fly out to right field. So that will be the end of the inning, but regardless of any of that, still a 1-run lead. I'm still very happy with how that inning panned out. So we're going to move on a couple innings here. You see, we're going to start the inning off getting walked right there. So still with no outs. You see Ben Revere is up to bat, and they're going to throw this wild pitch. So we're going to move on to second. It ends up actually being a very close play at second. Had the catcher made a better throw, we probably would have been thrown out. But that steal ends up being very crucial for us because Ben Revere is going to knock this one down the first base line. And we're going to keep Ben Revere at second for a stand-up double. But that will be good enough to knock the runner home from second, and that will give us a 4-2 lead. But regardless of that, that won't be the only runs we score this inning, as Ben Revere is going to run himself home right here on this single back up the middle, and that will be our second run of the inning to give us a 5-2 lead. But we are not done yet. Another swing here and another hit from D. Gordon. This one rolling under the first baseman's glove, and it'll be first and second with no outs, with Kris Bryant up to bat. And Kris Bryant is going to crank this ball to deep center field, and we're going to tag up right here with Trey Turner, move on to third base. Or at least we thought so. This center fielder ends up having an absolute cannon of an arm, and we'll throw out Trey Turner at third, even with that 97 speed. So now Giancarlo Stanton's going to come up to bat and drill this one deep to left field, but sadly not quite enough power on that one to fall or be a home run. Like I said, I'm still trying to find that rhythm with Giancarlo Stanton. In fact, there's even been a period of time where I've considered trading him. I might trade him. I probably won't. I know he's like the main guy of the series, so I don't want to trade him. But if I can get a guy like a Mike Trout, I mean, I think that might be worthwhile to pursue that type of trade. But you guys tell me what you think about that, and I'll consider every possible option. But either way, first and second right here, we're going to try to get a few more hits this inning. You see right here, we're once again going to try to tag on to third. This time we're testing the right fielder's arm, and we're a bit more successful on this attempt, as it will now be first and third with 1 out, with D. Gordon coming up to bat. We try making a squeeze play, and this borderline ends up being the worst squeeze attempt of all time, as that's the easiest throw a pitcher will ever have to make. I don't know why it worked so bad, but an absolutely awful squeeze attempt. Once again, we're going to touch that center fielder's arm. This time we are successful. It's first and third. Now we scored another run off of that hit. And now with a 6-2 lead, Giancarlo Stanton will come up to bat. This time, a little more success as he puts a little bit more pop on it to put it over the left fielder's head. And now with 2 outs, we have runners on second and third with a chance to score a few more runs. You see, we have, I believe this is Jock Peterson coming up to bat. Sadly, though, this will be the end of the inning. He's not really able to put any pop into this swing. And that's going to just go straight behind the plate, and the catcher will make an easy grab on that one. But we still have a 7-2 lead with the idea of scoring at least a couple more runs. You see, Chris Carter is going to drill this one into the air. Somehow this ball manages to land off the wall, and it took so much time in the air that Chris Carter will be able to get his first triple of the season, and probably one of the first triples of his career, considering that he's not a very fast player. And then after that, we're going to come up to bat here, and we are going to drill a deep fly ball to right field, good enough for Chris Carter to score from third, and that, I believe, will give us a 9-2 lead. Now, that ends up being all the runs, or an 8-2 lead. So that'll be, I think, ends up being all the runs we scored this game. But right here, we're going to try to get 1 out of the inning right here with a nice little deflection off of our pitcher. Now, I end up actually putting in, I believe I put in the closer that we have, Yamada, that random Japanese closer that we drafted, the top 50 prospect. We put him in here, give him a few at-bats, and in the 2 at-bats that we were able to see with him, he ends up doing a great job getting back-to-back ground outs. And we're going to walk out of here with an 8-2 victory and trying to tack on another win to this fantasy draft franchise. Right now, obviously, we're still pushing for a playoff spot, so I'm trying to win all the games I can. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed it, please click that like button below, and make sure to comment your opinion of the series and what I could do to make it more interesting in the comment section below, and also tell me possible trades I can do to make this team a little bit better and more interesting. And lastly, subscribe if you have not already to stay tuned to this series and other series I got going on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.